Welcome back to Up North at 4, and joining us now, the man of many talents. I feel like every time I talk to you, David, there's always something new going on with you.
Always
David Tank joining us now.
But that's what my parents used to say.
Yeah.
There's always something.
David, it's always something with you, right? All right. Book number 4 of the Secret Santa series is coming out, or it's out officially.
Officially right now.
And so you're now a published author. I think you have, remind me how many books you have under your
Altogether,
belt.
I think that's number 14.
Oh, jeez. That just makes me
It's a
ill
man of
thinking
many
about
talents.
that, right? Like,
Like
I
I
don't
told
have
you.
that many words in my head.
I know. I can't even think about that either. But book number 4 of this series, which is geared towards kids.
Yep,
and I know
middle grade readers.
Besides like what the name might imply, Secret Santa has nothing to do with Christmas, really, right?
The first one did.
Kind of, yeah.
The first one had to do with Christmas, and then the characters have continued on. We're basically 6 months later in their life.
Okay.
2 kids, 7 and 11, Sam and Nabby, and they do time traveling. And they discovered in the first book a time-traveling machine called a chronamulator invented by this guy in the 1800s who turns out to be Santa Claus.
Santa Claus, time-traveling Santa Claus.
But they have access to this time machine, various iterations of it, and they end up in different places. In book 2, they end up in New York City in 1920s, roaring 20s, with Harry Houdini. In each book, they're also historical figures that they're part of.
And it's like, it's a crazy combination of like sci-fi with the time travel, the history, obviously, you're bouncing between the present, the past, and I guess just kind of letting your imagination, your inner kid, David, running wild.
Well, I'm very interested in historic photos, and all of those books are based on historic photos that I've been able to find. And in fact, they're throughout the book, placed there. So the research is very specific. The newest book, book 4, takes place in San Francisco in 1878, at the point when the very first movie was invented by Edward Muybridge, and they end up at that event. Then they also end up in Chinatown in that time period, which was quite of a scary place to be.
Yeah.
But I was able to find a lot of historic photos of Chinatown to put them in the setting that they actually would have been in.
So, go ahead, Jeff.
No, it's you.
I was going to say, so you've done a ton of research, obviously, to put into these books, but also for you, it sounds like you kind of have a moment where, even though you're doing research for your own writing, you kind of get a chance to nerd out on the history side of things, right? Absolutely. And this is right up your alley, because last time we had you on, we were talking about postcards from the past, so looking at old photographs and comparing them to what they are now. I'm sensing a theme, Jeff.
Well, we got a couple themes. We've got the theme of the old postcards. We've got the theme of 3D photography, which is my real passion, because in the very first book, what happens is the kids get from their grandfather an old stereoscope like this, and there's a couple pictures with it of Santa Claus. And they look at that picture and they go, that is the weirdest looking Santa Claus I've ever seen. He's too skinny. He's obviously got a fake beard. Who is this guy?
And that sets off a chain of events.
And that sets off the first mystery.
We got to talk about these things here, David. We're going to take a break. Do you mind kind of sharing us the story about the stereographs? Am I saying that
Stereoscope.
correct? Stereoscopes. We're going to learn about stereoscopes next on Up North at 4. Stick with us. Welcome back to Up North at 4, joined by David Tank, local author, local stereoscope collector, and I just need to ask you this, David. How did this start for you, the collection of your stereoscopes?
Well, it started as a kid with Viewmasters. Every Christmas, I'd get another Viewmaster reel. We were always playing with them. Plus, my grandfather, who was actually up here in Enterprise, he did stereophotography. So even, you know, in some of his old slides, there's some pictures of me as a kid in 3D, which is kind of fun.
That is really cool.
So as a child, I really loved looking at the 3D stuff.
Yeah.
Hi, I
You-
know.
you look marvelous in those.
This book in 3D is spooky. It's really cool.
Throwing you off a little
You should
bit?
try that. Yeah.
So-
it like jumps out at you.
Well, so what this is, and this is literally the prototypes.
like right here.
I'm doing this for I'm doing this for the Pioneer
me
Park
out.
Historical Complex, and it's pictures, postcards, tied again, with scenes from there, but they're in 3D.
Yeah, they are.
And you get
Here, you have got to see
Okay,
this.
okay.
you get the glasses, you get the set of cards. There's 2 sets,
Whoa.
and
I know. It just jumps out at you.
literally, this is the only 2 sets that exist right now because they're at the printer. Hopefully, I'll have them back in about a week.
So we'll have more coming.
And the only place they will be available is at the Logging Museum's
Circle
gift
Complex with Carrie Bladorn down there.
shop. Yep, that's
okay.
and that's to be unique to them. Now, this stuff,
Yeah.
the postcards from the past book, these books, they're available online, postcardsfromthepast.net or secretsantamystery.net or .com. Plus, I will be at the art fair this coming Saturday in Hodag Park, trying to push some books. And next Wednesday, Eagle River Library, I will doing a behind-the-scenes look at the making of this book.
That's fun.
For the Historical Society up there at 1 o'clock at the library.
Okay, so we get to learn the history behind the writing of the book. We've learned that
Yes, there
your
you go.
inspiration is old kind of vintage photos.
Yep.
So tell me though, I mean,
taking
we've-
photos.
Yes, we've interviewed lots of authors, lots of people who can put thought onto paper. Where does that start with you? Like, how do you get what's in here into a there's
A narrative,
4,
yeah.
There's 4 of these, right?
Yeah.
And it tells a story, and a really good one. How does that happen?
I don't know. Most of it happens in the winter. I'll tell you that. I do
That's
very
fair.
little writing in the summer because that's when I want to be outside.
Okay.
Some of it happens while I'm asleep at night. I'll wake up in the morning and go, I know where that's going.
Yeah.
But
Like,
once,
do you run for paper then and write the thought down? Like,
First-
in that moment?
no, because I actually have tried that and I looked and I couldn't read it in the morning.
Okay.
It was just scribbles.
It was too
I get
scribbly.
that. Yeah, I get that.
But first thing in the morning, I'll usually go down and put down what I did.
I just love that. And you can kind of see where your passions, in old photography, in
it is on
writing,
the surface with David,
in history,
Yeah.
and how they kind of all just feel each other, and it kind
Yeah,
of
they really do.
it circles around.
You paved that path though. Like you are living what you love to do.
Yep.
And there are lots of people who will never find that.
I love it.
Yeah,
Ever.
and it's a blast. And I'm still searching for postcards all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was out again last week shooting more. So when I'm up at Eagle River, there's additional photos that I'll be showing there.
Never seen before.
Never seen
besides you.
before.
Okay. Well, we're almost out of time, but there are some books, a good read.
And it is a blast.
And those
talking
are a
to you as
fast read,
always.
even for adults. The adults like them just
We're
as much
doing
as the kids.
Easy enough, right?
Thanks.
All right,
Oh, there's
David.
pictures. I'm good.
It's been that's what he needs. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. We're gonna take a break. We'll be
Thanks.
right back.
That's the power of love.
Everything